Only thing that's kind of slowed me down a little bit is I injured my knee in jiu-jitsu last Monday, so
Oh yeah, how's that looking?
I think it's fine. I'll run. I mean, it hasn't bothered me. I'll run tomorrow for the first time since last Wednesday. So yeah, it was good. Just ice, compression, elevation, rest. I took a little bit of a leave. I think that's what Lynn said. So yeah.
Kind of like off topic a little bit, but have you heard? I forget the doctor's name that created that RICE acronym, but he kind of refutes his own idea of that with the icing aspect of it. It actually delays recovery.
Isn't you're supposed to do one first and then the other later on? Is it heat you're supposed to do first?
I don't know really anything about heat, to be honest, but ice, what it does is when you're like in the inflammatory phase of an injury, well, like acute kind of like right after it happens, just to reduce pain, you can do ice. It's really the only thing that ice does is reduce pain. It doesn't help with any inflammatory markers or trying to let it heal quicker. It really actually kind of slows down the process, the inflammatory phase of it, because when you have like an injury, say you just fucking like sprain your ankle and it swells, you have a lot of extra blood flow there of like white blood cells and nutrients and that kind of stuff, and it's hot, right? When you put ice on it, it reduces the blood flow to it and keeps it cool and delays that kind of inflammatory response.
Because I took a athletic injury prevention type class in college, and I was trying because like I remember hearing something like that, but I do remember in some instances ice is recommended. So you said maybe like right when it happens.
Like yeah, super acutely.
Cause I mean I can't recall from that class, but, and then cause I know
was that a like a elective kind of class?
Yeah.
I should have taken that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's like drugs and stuff.
We learned like rapping and stuff and whatnot too.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so then, I mean, it's one of the two though you could still use. I don't know if it's heat, but I mean, yeah, I know like you're getting that blood flow and that swelling actually helps the healing, but you want to like, I mean, you want to reduce the swelling at some point because like when your knee's all swollen and you try to run, like that's what like all the pain is all like the fluid and whatnot.
Okay,
in the knee joint.
So actually because I've been doing a ton of CEUs for 489D, the stages of healing, because this is like post-rehabilitation kind of stuff, and reintroducing exercise, but there's like
like my class.
Huh?
I think we had like slides on that in this class.
Yeah, it's probably very similar. So the acute phase, like 3 to 4 days after an injury, whether it's an accidental, like on the field or whatever, or surgery, which is essentially like the same type of thing. A lot of what is it? Like stress, kind of like fucking with all the structure, right? You have like the acute phase, 3 to 4 days. That's like the type of area where like pain is going to be the highest, and you might want to use ice to reduce that. But then you get in like the repair phase, which is the inflammatory or post-inflammatory, and 6 week post-inflammatory. So it's like 3 to 4 days, just depending on the injury, to 6 weeks out. You don't want to do any kind of ice because you're just letting that repairing happen and letting that blood flow and all that kind of stuff happen, and then remodeling, which is like super down the line. Like they didn't really get into that kind of stuff as much in this CEU class, at least. But yeah, what really and Squat University, Dr. Aaron Horsing, I think he's the guy who's been talking about it a lot, on how you really shouldn't ice unless it's like right after, just to reduce pain. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, ice probably like the first like 2-3 days. I mean, I feel like
What would really actually help more is just like it says on here, active range of motion. So just like slight movement. So like, what was yours again? Knee.
Yeah.
So just like kind of just bending and letting it move and kind of stretching and flexing and letting all the structures in there, which is gonna, when it moves, there's more blood flow to it, right? It's like when you exercise. You don't have a lot of blood in your extremities when you're just sitting at rest. It's mostly in your trunk and your brain and whatever. But when you exercise, you have more blood flow there. So you just want to keep it light, keep the movement not too heavy, not to create too much extra stress and re-aggravate and injure it, but enough to get more blood flow, to get more nutrients and that kind of stuff. So yeah,
I agree. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't even know where I was going with that.
I mean, that's what I was kind of doing. Like I did a little bit, towards like the latter half of last week. I just did like very minimal movement type stuff with my leg, but I didn't do anything strenuous as far as any type of running or lifting.
Mm-hmm.
But I did just, I did get some movement in my.
Like probably with that, just like walking,
Yeah.
like super chill, like just not putting a ton of stress on it, but just getting blood flow in there.
Although I did go to jiu-jitsu still, so. And I tried to just roll around it.
Roll around it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that could work, but then if you get in like a shitty situation,
I know.
you're in the same type of spot,
I know. I mean, I purposely was like letting things go. I feel like I was putting my knee in too much strain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird the way it happened. But yeah, I mean, it was like kind of like, I was worried it's like my LCL. So it was kind of like warm after class. Like the lateral part of my joint, like that's.
Yeah.
That usually is a sign of trauma to like the knee joint.
Well, yeah, that's exactly, it's in the acute phase where you have a lot of blood flow. It gets hot, and you have a lot of extra blood flow, and then all the things are going there to repair it.
Yeah. I mean, I just know.
That's why people put ice on it, because it feels hot, and it's like, oh, let me ice it to get this swelling and this heat now. But really, you're counteracting what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm just so scared of like tearing like a ligament in my knee, because like I didn't hear a snap or anything, but like just like the other stuff was there, like the swelling, it felt warm, like it was like I kind of felt it a little bit. Although you don't really feel it, like it could give out like as far as like not bearing weight, but it's not really painful per se when you tear it, just it gives out. But it wasn't like that. But like I just know like the signs of like a knee injury, and it just seems like it was just like some micro trauma, But that just scares the crap out of me.
You gotta be careful.
Because that's such a huge setback.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it seems like it's okay. I mean, I'll run tomorrow and see if it swells up. Because last week I ran on Wednesday, and it swelled up after like a mile and a half. And I just kind of chilled out after that.